Okay, Adrian, thank you for coming in today. If you wouldn't mind, could you tell us about one of your most influential childhood experiences? That anything that comes to mind.
You know, one of the most impacting, events in my life occurred when I was like 12 years old. I that experience opened my eyes to what the world really is, and it just to this day, I remember it and tears get in my eyes because it's one of those experiences that just makes you like feel like you're nothing. I was my godfather. He started a little karting league, and what 12-year-old doesn't like cars, and especially me since I was a little car head. And he was like, hey, do you wanna learn how to race? And yeah, I did. That was it was beautiful. I loved it. But within that experience, there was just things that I'll never forget.
What kind of things?
So, you know, I'm a Latino, and people that were in those leagues had a lot of money, and I'm not trying to say anything, but like I was the only Latino there. All the others were, white people, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was the only, Latino Mexican kid there, and 12-year-old me, you never think of that. You never see that. You don't think that's an issue because that's never gonna pop in your head as a 12-year-old. But the first day, I felt harassed, and everybody was looking at me. All the other kids looked at me as if I was a piece of trash. They got in the little group together, and they didn't invite me. I went over, and they ignored me. I wasn't there to them, and that hurts as a 12-year-old, and it just escalated from there. In the pits, I remember they screwed with my car. They called me names. They spit on me a few times, and I wanted to tell someone, but I was scared. My dad picked me up after. I wiped my tears off my face, and I smiled as if nothing was wrong. And now that I should have never done that because it's not right. But I didn't know what was going on. I was 12 years old. I just wanted to make friends. And all they did was talk crap. They insulted me. They treat me like a piece of trash. And that's one of the things I'll never forget,
Okay, and did this affect your performance in the program at all?
You know what? Yeah, it did. Because that's all I had in my mind. I wanted to quit. I went to this place to have a good time because I love cars and I still do. It's what I do now. But all I got was mistreated, offended. I got spit on a couple of times. There's a few times where they messed with my car, like I said, and if your car wasn't ready for the race, you are not racing, And I missed out on a few races, and I loved it, and that hurt me. But by the end of the season per se, there's one more race, and it's like the final race. Like who's the best? Not who's the best, but like who learned the most. Put your skills on the track. And I was actually excited because even though I didn't participate a lot because of the bullying and my car not being ready, I did learn a lot because it's what I love, and I took every single thing I could learn to heart. And I remember being in the pits, and I went to the restroom, and when I came back, some bolts on my car were loose. Luckily, that was it. I was able to, tie it back down as soon as I can. This is a little 12-year-old, trying to hustle a wrench, and the adults can't do nothing. It's all on you. And I got my car ready, and I was happy. And when I got in the racing lane, ready to go, I still remember his name. He was like the most popular kid. He started flipping me off to the side of his shoulder. And he got so lucky because the race manager didn't see that angle, but he was flipping me off. He was looking back at me, telling me things. And all of a sudden, I just burst in tears. I remember feeling that feeling of like, why do I have to be who I am? Why do I have to be this color? Why do I have to be, Mexican or Latino, whatever? I just want to be friends, and like, why is this stopping me from being like the others, from being a kid and having fun? I remember my helmet, I couldn't see because of the water, the tears, and I started the race, but I wasn't trying. I was just raced. I was just, going behind the pack. And one of the times I heard a whistle from the sidelines. I look over and I see my godfather, my mom, my dad, and my grandma was there. And my godfather was holding up a sign. And it says, "I'm the luckiest godfather. And I'm proud of you." And at that moment, at 12 years old, my eyes opened up. I understood that this world isn't fair. And that for some reason, people get treated differently. But at that moment, I remember smiling. I was proud of who I am. I was proud of my family, of my achievements. At 12-year-old, I went from being a kid to a grown person because, before that, I was just blinded. But that experience opened my eyes, and when I saw that poster, I lifted up my shield. I cleaned my tears, and I said to myself, "Adrian, you are better than them. Because you work hard for what you want and where you want to be." And, it seems weird because, you're only 12 years old, but life throws hard things at you sometimes. And I remember put that shield back on my face, and there I was 6th place, 2 laps before the final. Second lap around, I remember I was in 3rd place. On that last straightaway in that corner, I gave it everything I had. And with all happiness, I said that I passed that finish line in the 1st place. And it wasn't that I won the race, because that race, it's just a little race. But I proved myself, and I proved to them a point. I learned who I was, and I proved to myself that nobody can treat me inferior because of who I am or how I look like. And winning that race made me the person who I am today. And even if I wouldn't finish in first place, I finished with a smile. I finished working hard for that race. And that will be one of the most profound stories of my life that I will never forget.
Wow.